Blackstar Music here. So today we'll be starting off with our tips, tricks, tutorials, and what have you with music. Today I'm just going to go off and show off what it's like to basically start from scratch, at least from my perspective. I have nothing planned out. I did this earlier. It didn't record 100% properly, but that's for another story. So today what we're going to actually do is we're going to pull up our lead here. We're using Spire, actually. You can use any synthesizer you really want for this. I'm using Spire because I'm just faster with it at the moment. And in the future, we will be doing something with the built-in one here that's built into Bitwig Studio 2. And yeah, so I'm not really sure. Right now we're in E major, but I'm going to switch. I'm on my Ableton push at the moment. I'm going to E minor, I think. I feel like that will be a bit better. Just because I've been working in it a little bit lately. Again, I mean, I switch all the time. Maybe D. Let's see. Do I want something like that, or do I want something like... Actually, I don't really know. It sounds terrible with it just as a basic sound, obviously. But, you know, we'll figure it out. So let's hit play here. Got it. Alright, we'll do 16th notes. We'll just get some type of a melody going here. Let's first get a basic sound. We'll start off with 4 voices. Sounds a lot nicer, doesn't it? And we'll turn this up a bit. And we'll widen it. About right there. We'll turn up the release quite a bit. A little bit of this. And we'll take it down. No, we won't be using that. Alright, what we'll be doing here is, let's try this. Let's get the filter going. Cut off. And we'll get the matrix. Let's turn this to mod wheel. Just because I'm on the Ableton push. You don't have to set this up this way. I personally like to, just because it gives me, you know, an easier way to just cut this off, get rid of it. We'll go to max, and we can tune it later if we need to. Let's turn this to perfecto. Let's bring this down quite a bit here. Just leave it up just a tad bit, so it gives it a little bit of air. God, I can't talk today. Now, in its most basic, where do we want the sound? Something like that. That'll work. Okay, yeah, something like that'll work. Work just fine for what we're doing here. I'll bring this up. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work just fine for what we're trying to get around. And we're gonna... There we go. Gives it a little bit of like a twang, if you will. We're gonna bring the feedback down, add a bit of a delay. Widen it. And we're going to add a little bit of a reverb, actually, as well. Turn the color down here. I just know from the start. Turn up the decay a little bit. Maybe something like that. Turn the delay down a bit. It's a bit too high. Maybe a bit of feedback down. Turn a little bit of color up. Let's turn the width all the way up and just see. Something like that. All right, we'll go with that, and let's make a quick melody here. And I mean, this is basically what I'm starting off here, is all I do to start. We'll start here at E. I would normally, you know, go off and hit record and do this by hand, but occasionally I do make mistakes because I am human. So when I'm at least on the push. So what I'm going to do is do this by kind of hand and with the push for telling me where I should be. As you look over to the left over here, so you can see it kind of lights it up for me for what I want to do. But it's not something you have to do. I mean, you can just go in key and, you know, add whatever you want. But I don't really know. I don't want to go that way because I usually would, play on piano and get some type of a rhythm or melody, but I feel like this is more at tune with, what everybody is doing anymore, so I'll go this way. So, should I have... Yep, okay. Let's, I just want this to be the pluck, so I don't really know what I want with it. Let's see, can I also put in, something like this. Not really what I was going for originally, but, whatever gets you to the goal. And one, of course, here. Yeah, something like that will work. And we'll bring it up an octave and all that good stuff here in the next one. We'll keep the bass notes as they are. We'll bring this up to F. Yeah, I like that. And we'll bring one more up. And, this is a pretty basic one for what you would normally do. And then what we'll do is we'll, G. And we'll drop it down for this next one here. And we'll go from there. Should I drop it down 2? We'll drop it down 1 for now. Okay, and we'll duplicate this real quick, which on Mac is Command A, Command D. It basically works this way for any basic DAW. It's like copy and pasting, if you will, for system to system. I guess if you're on PC, it'd be Control A and Control D, if I assume that's correct. All right, and for this, should we go up? Bring up devices. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. That'll give us something to tune to. So let's bring up the X compressor. I want this to have a bit of a warm sound. We'll get the EQ going. We'll go high band. Bring it over to the top. Get rid of a little bit of the bass notes. And we'll leave the mid-range as it is. Tune that a little bit. All right, that's something. All right, now let's get this, tuned up a bit more, and then we'll add some other stuff. But first, we're gonna get the kick going here. I have one preset. I'll actually pull it up here. It's preset from, 4 other things that I have here. I have some ATE stuff and some VC that I use for it. They all make it up. This right here, I'll solo this actually, 'cause it's actually pretty how I do my drums anyway. Bit of a bass sound. If you see, high pitched click, and then you have the kick itself. And yeah. And then I tune them this way. So let's say I want to bring this up. And normally what I do, what I've been doing lately anyway, bring this up to, it's a 2. Yeah, 4 is good. It's not really what I like to do. I like to keep it in what it should be, but that, makes it a little bit, it gives it that, like, I don't know, high-end thump that I want. But we'll turn it down for now. I just want it there in the background. But yeah, that's basically how I deal with my drum situation. I will change it occasionally, like I'll change the main part of it, the mid-range, and I'll change like the high. I really don't change the click too much, but I occasionally will change the bass portion of it to give it more of like just a fatter bass sound or something like that. It's just what you got to do. It just fits, whatever fits the song. But I like something to, get me going and start from. But a lot of people just, bring in just some random kick sound, which is fine. Let's see here. Where is the built-in thing here that I've only ever used a couple of times? Where is the kick? Here we go. Let me pull up this electronic kick here. just a built-in one that's just built into Bitwig Studio. Ableton has a similar thing, if I'm not mistaken. It's not like a kick, but I mean, they have so many presets. This has preset stuff too, but I don't like going that way. So you see here, I mean, you can get something going with like something like that. I'm not going to use it. I very rarely do, unless what I'm doing is going for something that's like a sub kick that I just want to do, and I'll bring that up. But I mean, it gets the job done. If I would sit there and work with it, but you know, this isn't about that. So let's get to this, like what we were going to do, and let's get to making it sound like something you really want to actually listen to. So. Bring us up to 9 voices. This one's a little bit wider. We're gonna bring it up fine tune 7%. What is that? Oh, that's weird. It's up fine tune at 7. I think it's because of where I'm sitting my mouse. I don't know, it's weird. Whatever. All right, we're gonna leave this as it is. We're gonna do so much. Give it a little more density. All right, we'll leave that one as it is. Okay, we got that good. Now we're gonna change the first one a bit. Now we're gonna kind of merge them a little bit. Which one do I want to be more forward? I want this one over here to be more forward, oscillator 1. So we're gonna bring this one down a bit. Bring down its wideness a little bit. That'll work. And we're gonna bring down its detune a bit since it's more of a square wave at this point. And then we're gonna sit here and add in a little bit of the synth 1 preset. We're gonna add just a little bit of grit to it. We're gonna do the same thing over here, but we're gonna use something different, a little random with this. I don't really know what I want for it, to be quite honest. I just like kind of to mess around and, you know, edit as I go along. We'll go with FM1. I think that'll work. FM synthesis is what I used to be really into anyway. Right there. I'm not a big fan. A little bit of resonance. Echo down. Reverb, not echo. Like that. Alright. You kind of hear the square a bit. Alright, yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. So, since what I'm doing here is just testing sounds. Let's turn on the shaper. Let's do tube 1 or tube 3. Turn this all the way up. Add a little bit of drive. It's a bit much. It's a bit too much drive. And we'll do tube 1, I think. Bit too much drive. Let's turn the dry weight down a little bit. We just want those up just a tad bit, just to give it a little bit of that grit that we're looking for. Something like that, yeah, that'll work. Alright. Now with this melody, we're going to option drag down, switch one, or switch labels. We're going to modify this a bit so it's a little bit more interesting. I mean, right now what we have is something I would use at the intro. It's pretty basic. I mean, it's just, 2 lines here, nothing special. But like, when I'm getting started, I don't do anything with the bass or anything like that, so pretty late on. So usually after the pads and everything else are in. But for this, what we'll do is, I'll just try doubling this real quick. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. That'll be a good second one. What I would use for the second measure. I do everything when I do this stuff. I do it in Clip Launcher in whatever DAW I'm working in. I mean, I work in basically Bitwig here in Ableton as well, but I've been working in Ableton honestly over almost a year at this point. I guess I could have just clicked on, I don't know, this is easy. But I haven't worked in Ableton in forever, to the point where I probably would be slow with it. I mean, it's not like I've forgotten, but yeah. Alright, that's pretty good. I like that. I already know what it's going to sound like, obviously. So now we're going to make it even just more interesting for what we're doing. So we're going to keep the main thing. I mean, the main theme of this is B1. Or, that bass note is the main thing of what this entire melody is, because it's the one thing that stays constant. And usually what I'm looking for in like my melodies or whatever is one aspect of it has to stay constant. Everything else can be the same, like change around. But like, let's say I would have this here and I'd have B1, skip two bar or segments in B1 and then something else. At the very next line, at the very next bar, it would have to have the B1, and then the next one have to have B1, and then the fourth one I may or may not change. Like I'll change that up just to make it sound different. But other than that, it'll be at B1, or at least it'll be at that same note, but a different octave. And that's usually how I like to do my melodies. At least when I'm doing it in the Clip Launcher view like this, or not Clip Launcher, piano roll. But you can do it however you want. There is no correct way. I mean, there's like the musical way where you'd follow rhythm step, or you'd follow like melodies and not melodies, chord structure. But I'm not for doing that because that's just, that's not that fun. Something like that work? I don't think it does. It can, but it makes it sound, it muddies it up. So we're not gonna do that. What we're gonna do, take this up an octave. This one though, I want up. Yeah, it'll work in C. Whoa. You, something up with you. Bring you up to there. And bring you. Yep, I know why. Okay. Alright, bring this one up to B. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, no. It would have to be at the end if I want to do that. But okay, we'll keep that there. And we will modify this. What do I want to do here? Bring you to G. Bring you down. I don't know if I like that. Alright, well, let's try it with you as well. And yeah, we can modify it. We can work with this. Alright, we'll do something like this for all of it. There. And we'll delete whatever's over here and we'll just copy paste it. There's no reason not to. This goes right back down, so we can do this and this. This goes up though. Do I really want to mess with that? Ugh. Yeah, we'll do it this way. I make it sound like it's a bother. It's not, it's just, I really wish I wouldn't have moved these up from the start, but whatever. And these are the struggles. It's just like, I'll do this now, do this now. Will it sound good? Won't it sound good? And it's just one of those things. You kind of, you mess around until you figure it out and get something that, you know, you're actually happy with. Because I mean, everybody always wants to do, oh, this is what this person's doing, or this is what person B is doing because they're, you know, big. I mean, that's just not fun. Like, that's not a good way to make music, in my opinion. Good way to make music is, if you enjoy it, somebody else will enjoy it, and that's what I like to go for. Okay, I can work with something like that. All right, now what we're going to do, do I want to do bass? Not necessarily. Do I want to do pads? Not technically necessarily either. But what I will do is, do I do pads? Do I want to do pads? These are going to be extremely loud, but apologies, headphone users. It's loud even in mine, because if I would do these on my do this on my monitors, the mic would have a fit. So. The reverb on this. Don't know what I feel about them. I'll try this here. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling a sound. Let's because I want to do this pretty quickly. I don't want to waste everybody's time here. So let's pull up Omnisphere, and let's pull up pads. I want my pads. I don't want to make something right now because it won't come out as nice. Well, it will come out nice, but it honestly takes a long time to make pads, in my opinion. If you can make any sort of like pad or string element, but like I just, it's not what I'm into. And this honestly might clip a bit here and there just because it's pretty CPU intensive, and I know when recording, like I'm not going over, let's see here, I doubt it'll come up on the recording. Yeah, I'm not using that much, to be quite honest, but it's using, I don't know, like 21%. That's looking at iStat menu on just a different screen, I'll say. So, oh, I should start with that. I could do something really nice with that. I love Omnispheres, just everything in it. That is not a lie, I love it. Let's stop the kick. Doesn't fit the theme at all, but I just like that sound. It's eternal. Let's go. All right, let's just go down here a bit. Just some random stuff. Oh, it's because I'm not double clicking. No, it isn't. It's just analog pad. Let me put something basic down here. We're on B and F. Okay. E and B. So let's do something basic here. I just want something so I don't have to keep using the keyboard and being out of time. Or not keyboard, the push and being out of time, because the mic is slightly in the way of the play button for me. So it's the only reason why I'm just like, you know. But yeah, let's go. Not B1. Well, we'll start off here because it's just, we're down here. All right. It's B0. B1. E1. Now, let's just bring this up. Let's shift in the up arrow on your keyboard, I guess. Alright. And we need to make this 100% velocity, just for the sake of doing this. and then we'll bring this up. Yep. Duplicate. Bring this up, obviously. Duplicate. Bring this up. Duplicate it twice. Doesn't make sense not to. Because this is how it is. Come on. There we go. Did I have it? Yeah. Alright. This will just be something simple, just so I don't have to do anything, and I can just hit play and let this play while I go through sample sounds. Got it. Alright, let's get out of this one, though. Messing with the mod wheel a bit. Kind of like that one. Down here, it's these lush ones. I like that. All right. Let's bring in the LFO a bit. We're going to bring this up. LFO is just what I use to do this with kicks because it's just so much faster. It really is. I mean, if you want to be that crazy with it. Alright, and then from here what I would actually do is normally I would go from this point and now start either writing a piano piece or just something in a higher octave. So what I will try and do here is we'll bring this up to a higher octave and we'll see how that just is from the bass, you know, without me doing too much to it. And we'll go from there and see where that leads us. Alright, let's do the whole thing and see if that's any better. Alright, I like that, though. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. But, yeah, okay, something like this could work. But let's say you want to change this up. So let's say I don't like this, what I've done. What I would normally do, I'm sorry about that skip there. What I normally do is bring it to the beginning. I bring my most favorite part of the melody or the track to the very beginning. So we're going to try that here and see where we can go with. And that'll most likely be the, oh, sorry about that. That'll be the last thing that I do in this video, just because I want to kind of keep it as short as I can. But it's kind of hard to do with music video stuff or like tutorial stuff because you can go on and on about what to do, what not to do. But yeah, so let's get rid of this. We'll get rid of the bass notes. My most favorite part of this. Like, okay. Right there. That's the one that I like the most. Let's get rid of all this. All right, let's make this bigger. And get rid of everything past this point. Goodbye. And what I'm going to do now is bring this over to the very beginning of the song. And this part here will be our starting point. And this is how, like, when I'm like trying to figure out, you know, something new that I want to do. Okay. All right, let's bring this all back. I guess I don't need any of that. All right. Let's see. something like this. I don't know. This has to be moved over one, obviously, since I'm skipping. Why did I move that back there? I don't like that. Yeah, it doesn't work at all. Not my favorite. Not the favorite thing. Most favorite thing I've done. Technically, what I should do is something like this, where I move this over here, move this over here. But I don't really like doing stuff like that. It kind of feels like it breaks it up too much. So let's bring this up to G. Bring you over here. Should drop you. Strip. Something like that, but this over here. Yeah, it's gotta be like that if I really want this to sound right. Maybe something like this. And then I could do something like duplicate this and yeah, I could do that. And then let's see here. How would I end this before? Okay, this one here. Bring that down. Bring this up here. Dun, dun, dun. I want these in G, and we're gonna bring you down to E. Yeah, something that could work. And then something else here where it goes up and like it goes up to an octave. We'll do it real quick, and then we'll like kind of call it good here. But I went too far. Who cares? The reason why I copy from one point to the other is it'll duplicate as in the highlighted area. So if I'm not in highlighted area, it'll skip that note, or that note, that segment, I'll say. But yeah, okay. In this one here, we'll keep it there like it kind of is, since I kind of double it up there. And what we'll do instead over here is bring you to F, bring you to A, bring you to B. That could sound pretty decent. I mean, it's pretty basic, I know. And then you could add in like a bass note here, or just not a bass note, but a lower octave note. Could that really work? I don't really think it could, but we're gonna try it anyway and see if it does. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, it doesn't work because of the way I did that. I mean, I could obviously move you here, drop this here. But will it work for the second one? Let's see here. Yeah, it doesn't work as well as I want it to. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan. See, it sounds too empty. It sounds like off. So normally you can do something like this. I mean, mean, it could work. It might not work. I mean, I personally don't like the bass part at all, to be quite honest. I don't think it works. Not for this. I would use a different synth to give me that type of effect that I'm going for there, and it would kind of mimic this, but I mean, I don't have any idea what I would do for that at this moment. And that, you know, is the struggles of doing this. But like, this is how I get started normally when I do a project. As you can see, I'll get into this real quick before I end this. I have essentially the project here set up. I have one section here for drums, as you can see, just goes in and out or whatever. But I have a drum section, I have a clap section, I have a percussion section. The claps, percussions, well, the claps are pretty much like stagnant. Like, I change them occasionally, but it's not something I really like to do. They're set. They're what I like. They give me the sound I'm going for, if not loud at the very first time I turn them on, if I don't turn them down. So here we go. I'll turn this down. We'll go back to the original thing we were working on. And we'll turn on the claps. Turn them down. And then what I would normally do, I'll bring it over here to the percussion side. I would add in, let's go over here to devices. Let's see, add effect. We'll go into DJ. It's one thing I love about Bitway. You just start, you know, typing, and it has an excellent search engine that pops up right as it should. And that is not what I'm looking for. Not looking for any waves or anything. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's go DJ, just as I was, you know, complimenting it. There we go. DJ AQ here. It's simple. Set this to 500. And let's turn this on. Okay. Turn it down. Turn down the mid section a bit. Turn the bass way down. That, like, and then I obviously tune the volume to what I want it to be. So this right here. I don't want it super apparent. Sorry, the mic. I don't want it super apparent, but I don't want it to disappear. Something like that could work, and obviously you tune everything else to go as you normally do. One other thing I naturally do whenever I'm doing this, so I have the pads here, and I don't necessarily want them to have a low end section to them. Obviously, you would just, you know, have your melody hit up, but just because, I mean, sometimes sounds just they sound to me like in the background. When you have something that's playing, I'll solo it first. It makes more sense when I solo and show this off rather than not do it this way. All right, bring up Q2, yeah, Q2, and just VST2, and I have one set here for 35 dB cut. It's the main thing I normally use. I'll make one here naturally. I normally put this on the group, but it doesn't really matter where you put it, to be quite honest. And what I'm gonna do is do a cutoff frequency of 35. I do this for anything that has a bass sound that I don't want to have a bass sound. So I normally have this on the bass, the subs, but I'll show you guys that like in a future video as well, like what it actually does. But you bring it up here. I set to around 48 hertz, 48 to 36 is a bit much, but 48, and if I want something super, then I want to be surgical about it, I'll go to the 72 or 96, and it just gives it a good flat wall that I would really need. And yeah, no, it just cuts off all this mud that comes out down here. If it'll pop up at all. There's not much because I'm not really hitting anything in this area. But you see all this stuff here that does pop up, that you can see it's cut off. It's just unnecessary. Like, it's muddy. It just gets in the way of your final mix when you're trying just to like be very, you know, precise with it. And then, so right around here, you could use a bit. That's right here. Solo it. It's actually really nice. Right there. Shrink it. Take the gain down. Just a little bit. I mean, you don't have to go crazy. A lot of people like to go, you know, they do something like this. They'll bring it up and they'll bring up the gain like something like this, like over 2. Bring it up like this just to get like the sound effect. And I think that's nuts. A lot of people do that. All you really honestly need, or they'll go like up here just to make it sound cool. Like you can do that for effects. I get that if you're going for that. But for a majority of your stuff, I mean, subtle changes, change it, you know, later in the project. So this, like this, I would come back here and adjust this towards the end of a project as well. But yeah, that's basically everything I basically wanted to show off here. There's not much else that I have in mind at the moment, but so we'll definitely be looking at that. We'll be doing some stuff that's probably more structured. I just want to get something out there, kind of show off what it is. Like when you want to start something off, like when you honestly have no idea where you want to go for the project, or you don't know what you want to do, and something like this. And maybe this pans out, maybe it doesn't. We'll probably revisit it in the future, where we'll start from something. At least when we do this part here, we'll do something completely brand new, but we might come back and revisit this just to see if we can actually make something out of it. Or what I'll actually do is plan for a full track and do that. But I mean, that's a whole different thing. It'll probably be a 2-part video just because my upload rate isn't stellar to do videos that are, you know, longer than an hour, but I can probably do something like pretty much a full track in an hour if I just, you know, kind of do it in something that I'm familiar with. So if I pull up everything pre-hand, where I basically pull up which synths I want to use, I could pretty much do it, and I might be doing something like that. So let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see in that regard. If you want to see me do something like that, if you don't, that's fine. Like, I'm completely okay with that. But I'm definitely going to go over some more structured tutorials for that. But I want to get something out there, you know, just let it go, and we'll see what happens. So I guess I will see you guys all next time.